One song I've had on repeat lately is Pele Coat by Lil Durk. And let me tell you, that melody is addictively simple. But here's the thing, most producers overthink it. The secret? Keep it simple and also emotional. In that track, there's only 3 main sounds: a Rhodes piano, a grand piano, and a guitar bass. And it's so clean. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to make a clean, catchy, and simple placement ready beat. But we're going to be breaking it up into 3 sections: crafting a simple melody, building bouncy, minimal drums, and arranging it like a pro so it's ready for an artist. Let's jump in and I'm going to show you exactly how less can do a lot more. The 2 main sounds you hear right at the start of the song is the Rhodes piano and guitar bass. So let's get the chords in and then we can add the guitar bass literally after. So to start with, let's change the BPM to around about, let's go to 78. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up CRX piano. I'm just going to use the first one, the electric piano, pure EP1. And what we're going to do, we're just going to start off with some simple chords. Let's start off with a C sharp. And what they do in the song, it goes, but they add these notes here, so it changes the chords a little bit. So it's like, so let's keep that idea, but let's change these notes. I feel like, and let's have a little run at the end so it goes into a nicer loop. Then it goes back into the loop. Let's add a little top note there just to add a little bit of difference. Nice, cool. So I'm just going to keep the chords as simple as that. What I'm going to do is press Command A, Option S, and it's going to strum the chords. Just make it sound realistic. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these notes, put them down an octave, just to add some depth to the piano. And let me randomize these. Nice. You might think that's so repetitive, but that's what's so good about it. It's like the Lil Durk song. It is insanely repetitive, but that's what catches my ear. Right, let's get into adding the next sound. I'm going to add a guitar bass from the kit that it's not even out yet. Let's go to one-shot basses. Let's use this one. Just going to change the attack, hold, bring down the decay, bring down the sustain, and release. Now we've got 2 sounds. Let's send them both to the mixer and let's add some effects. So to start with the Rhodes piano, I'm just going to add some fruity reverb. Just on the higher end. It adds some nice space and atmosphere to the melody. And I'm going to add some delay, but a slight delay. The last thing I'm going to add is vintage chords just to give it that vintage feel. Bring down the mix on that. And I bring the volume up on it just a bit as it is quite quiet. And then the bass. I'm not going to add any other effects to it, just bring the volume down a bit. Right, so the next thing I'm going to add, the only other sound I hear a lot through the track is a grand piano. So I'm just going to open up one from Keyscape. What I'm literally going to do is copy the chords down from the Rhodes piano, but let's spice things up a little bit. Just adding some top line notes that will poke through the Rhodes. Perfect. I mean, that leads out so nicely. So cool. Let's send that to the mixer too. And let's mix that in with the Rhodes because we want the Rhodes to still be the main sound. So let's add some reverb. So what I'm even do is turn the reverb down now on the Rhodes so the grand piano is more atmospheric. Right, so I found this insane guitar lead from Splice. The melody that we've made is in C sharp minor, but the guitar lead is in C sharp major. So C sharp major's relative minor is A sharp minor, so it's up 3. B minor, C, C sharp. So now we're in C sharp minor. Let's hear it. Yeah, insane. The only thing is I think it's too high, so let's bring it down an octave. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh, man. Yeah, that's insane. It's insane. The only other sound I'm going to add is a respace. So we can layer a kick and the respace and it'll sound beautiful. I'm just going to go to my one shots. Layer this. Just going to follow the same bass notes. Yeah, perfect. Right, I think that's perfect. I'm not going to add anything else because then it will just be overcomplicating it. That's the reason why I love Pelé Coat. The melody's so simple but so catchy. Right, I'll see you in the next part when we add the drums. Now we've got the melody, the drums need to add bounce but not take over. I'll show you how to keep it simple and still make it hit without overcrowding the beat. Next part and the most crucial part to keeping the artist interested is adding drums. So let's get straight into it. I want to keep these drums very simple. Exactly like Pelé Coat. Right, the first thing I'm going to add to the master is a soft clipper. So now we're ready for the drums. So let's get a clap from my Blueprint multi-kit. Let's use the standard one. Perfect. And from there, let's just get some hi-hats in. Let's use the go-to one. And let's just do two-step. But because we're at 79 BPM, we need to just copy them over. Simple but clean. So let's just add a little bit of variation. Cool. Let's copy that throughout. And like the last time we added in the melody was the respace. So let's unmute the respace and mute the guitar bass. And let's get a kick and let's layer it on top of that bass. We're going to use the go-to kick in my multi-kit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to a mixer and I'm going to sidechain it. Sidechain to this track, open up a limiter. But as usual, we're not using it for limiting. We're using it for sidechain compression. Bring down the threshold, bring up the knee and bring down the release and then move this to 1. Perfect, and let's copy that over. And a little mix I'm going to do on the kick is just put it mono and let's just bring in an EQ and get rid of the high end. Perfect. Right, let's get a snare in. Let's use the go-to snare. Nice. Just adds that bounce. I think let's get an open hat in. Let's use the Sony one. Just adds that nice bounce. Let's copy that throughout the whole track. And I'm gonna bring down the attack up, bring the hold up, and the decay and sustain and release down. Just feel like I want it to stop when the clap comes in. Perfect, yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute the bass and kick, and let's get an 808 in. I'm actually going to use Secret 808, Azura Best 808. Oh, I like that bounce. Nice, and let's copy that over. And put it down an octave and let's make sure we cut self. Send it to the mixer. Let's boost it a bit. Make sure it's a mono. And what we're going to do now is also sidechain the kick to the 808. Just so there's another section available where the 808 and kick are together. Whew, that's cold. Let's bring in another open hat. Like one more won't hurt. Copy that over. So I think that's pretty much it for the drums. I don't want to add any more. Again, don't want to overcomplicate it because the melody is so simple and that's what's the majority of the talking. So let's get on to arranging the beat. Now the foundation's done, it's now time to do the part most producers overlook. Arrangement. It seems tricky, but trust me, I'll break it down to you. I'll walk you through how to structure your beat so an artist is locked in from start to end. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the drums over here for now. And let's just split the melody. So split by channel. And let's bring the melody in. And the next thing I'm going to do is split the drums by channel. And let's bring the drums in. So to start with, let's move the guitar to when the hook comes in. Let's make sure we've unmuted all of the sounds. So we're going to have the guitar, bass, and the Rhodes to start with. And it goes into the second section with the Rhodes, guitar, bass, and piano. And then for the hook, let's have the electric guitar, Reese bass, and Rhodes. And even for maybe the second part, we bring in the 808, do a cut here, and delete the second part of the Reese bass. So cut the hi-hats here just to add a little bit of bounce. Oh. So then for the verses, let's have the Rhodes, grand piano, and Reese bass to start with. And for the second part, let's bring in the 808 again. Bring the guitar in at the end. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let's bring a little riser in just at the start, just to show that that's where the hook's coming in. So because the structure's pretty much done, what I'm going to do now is basically copy this over twice. 1, 2. But I'm going to leave the last hook and delete the rest of the verse. So now we've got hook, verse, hook, verse, hook. That's it. Let's even bring in the intro for the outro and do a little bit of a fade out. And there you go. You've got a 3-minute and 15-second beat. And that's ready for the artist to use. That's keeping it interesting and making sure the artist does not lose interest. Perfect. Let's listen to the final beat back. Oh, man. When the 808 comes in, oh yeah. So clean. Mix is perfect on it. Oh. Yeah, I'm very happy with how that's come out, and that is as repetitive as Pele Coat, which is such a good thing. I'm not going to forget this beat at all.